Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. This is a PG action-adventure fantasy movie around 2 hours long, being released in 1980. Now the story of this is after the rebels were basically brutally overpowered by the Empire, Luke Skywalker begins his Jedi training with Master Yoda while his friends are pursued by Darth Vader. Let's jump straight into the good points. Now the good points about this movie is, after the first movie, A New Hope, a lot of people fell in love with this franchise and with that movie in general. And not only that, they wasn't expecting a second movie. So when George Lucas and everybody came out with this second movie, a lot of people were really excited. So a lot of expectations were high after that first movie. The way they handled that, I really have to applaud, because how they've come out with this movie is just great. People even wanted to find out what was happening throughout the production as well. So they was going to find out, trying to get people on the inside or get into that production set to see what was going on, which is just completely crazy. Now overall, this movie only won one Oscar compared to the first movie winning a lot more Oscars, but also that Oscar was for Best Sound again. Also it won many other awards, which I'm not going to go through of course, because there's so many awards up for nomination. But also this movie is being voted 14th place best movie of all time on IMDb, whereas the other movie didn't. Director Irving Kershner done a great job with this movie, with a lot of pressure on his shoulders coming from George Lucas in A New Hope. He really handled this well, made a lot of great decisions in this movie. But don't worry, George Lucas is back doing what he done best in the first movie with his writing. He really does an amazing job yet again, continuing to shock people, shock the world, and he really makes things so enjoyable in this journey. Not only that, George Lucas makes us really care for these worlds and these characters that he's really writing about. The story overall in this movie, in my opinion, takes a massive upstep in terms of enjoyability as well as fan service. We get a lot more stuff in this movie which we can really geek out about and really enjoy, especially when it comes to the stuff with Darth Vader in it, which makes it so much more awesome. The thing with the story as well, you can see it's well structured and planned throughout, because you can feel as you're watching it's set in 3 certain acts of the movie. Not only in them 3 acts are in different locations, certain things are pinpoints are happening to really solidify the act. And really, in overall, this movie more than others, it really does that. Not only is the story taking a massive upstep, I think the character arcs do too, because we don't just focus on one character mainly in Luke Skywalker. We get him in this movie as well, but the character of Han Solo, I think his character arc was really interesting in this movie as well. He really develops from the beginning of the movie all the way through to the end of the movie. The fact that this movie allows our hero to fail, for the rebels to be taken over, and to ultimately feel defeat in the end of this movie is amazingly rare. Another thing that really improved with this movie from the first is the script. It suited the characters more, it flowed better, it was a lot more humorous, which was great in this movie because the humour took a massive upstep as well. It didn't feel cringy, it didn't feel dated, it really felt like it still holds up today. Another 2 things which were improved in this movie was the pacing. It didn't feel really slow, or it took its time to get to where it needed to like the first movie. But not only that, the feeling that you had in the first movie where you could sort of feel and sense there was production issues, this movie don't have that. It feels more natural and flows a lot better. Talking about the villain himself, Darth Vader, he is so badass in this movie. He took a massive upstep in terms of what he does in this movie. He even goes to the extent of killing his own people, because when they fail, he takes it out on them, or even when he fails in a certain way, he takes it out on them. Not only that, he just knows how to make an entrance as well. He's just so badass in every scene. Technically, this movie took a massive upstep. It still holds all the things that the first movie did, but also really in this movie you could tell it had a bigger budget, and they like to experiment more with the special effects and the sound effects. They really pushed it up to a whole new level. Again, the music is really key in this movie. It's absolutely amazing. John Williams back with his score was absolutely amazing. But not just the main score, we got some really good other music in this movie as well, to make the movie flow really well, to suit the tones throughout the movie as well. And as well as we get a really badass Darth Vader theme song. When he shows, you know something's really bad gonna happen, and it's so badass. Talking about the tone of the movie, it is really done really well and handled, because it really builds throughout the whole movie if you really think about it. There's little dips in and out of tone throughout the movie, but really it's all a big build to the finale between Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. The cast are back again and really are continuing to impress with their performances, of course. We have Mark Hamill playing as Luke Skywalker back. He improved as a character, really. A lot of people didn't like him in A New Hope because he was more whiny and really annoying, whereas this one, they really didn't have to do that with him. He was a lot more of a hero type, as well as obviously mentioning he actually fails a little bit in this movie. He really tries to rush the Jedi training, and what Master Yoda does. He leaves there to help save the people, and pretty much he fails. He ends up losing his hand because of this. It's good to see a character arc like this, and really his character overall was really enjoyable throughout the movie. A great performance from Mark Hamill yet again. Harrison Ford is back as Han Solo, somewhat more enjoyable in this one. The first one he was more laid back, cool and badass, but this time he's coming into the story a little bit more and having a great character arc. Alongside him we have Carrie Fisher as Leia, Princess Leia, really coming into this a lot better because these two, Han and Leia, really have great chemistry continuing from the first movie, but not only that, they've finally become a couple in this movie, something which the fans have been wanting because you can tell there's a certain thing there, competitiveness between them, and it's just somewhat really enjoyable. But it sort of makes you feel weird if you consider it because Leia kissed Luke to just sort of get at Han, but Luke's going to remember that kiss, especially if you remember what happens in the next movie. It sort of makes it feel awkward. But not only the main characters giving great performances and great key moments throughout the movie, we have these side characters which do that as well. They're so enjoyable and even are starting to get cared about a lot more, with the likes of C-3PO, R2-D2 and Chewbacca coming back from the first movie. They're all so great. If you think of Chewbacca, Chewie with the likes of Han and Princess Leia, they're really great together, them three. They're a great trio. But also Chewbacca with R2-D2 and C-3PO. These three are great together, somewhat really enjoyable. Thinking about Chewbacca, I've just noticed I've got the Funko Pop right here, so it's just great. These three are so great. But we also get introduced to some new characters into the movie with Lando. I thought he was a really interesting character. His character art was quite special in this movie as well because obviously he portrays Han, and a lot of things happen to his character in this movie. He goes from bad to good, from good to bad. He has a whole different change in character in this movie, and really it was a great performance. The main thing with this guy is his chemistry with Darth Vader and Han Solo. They really have some really great chemistry. With Han Solo, it's a friendship, brotherly bond from old friends and stuff. You can feel that as you watch them, and then the betrayal happens and you see Han's defeat in his face. It's really great. But then you've got the likes with him and Darth Vader. It's a sense of fear, obviously, because he's so big and intimidating, Darth Vader. You sense that fear in Lando's face. We also get Master Yoda, of course, in this movie. He's really great. He's really special. And I like the way they used him in this movie as well. He wasn't some CGI type thing. He looked realistic, and I really enjoyed that about him. But not only that, the way he tests Luke in this movie, his patience, is really great. And the way they make him so funny, he makes this movie so much more better because he insults Luke left, right, and centre. And the way he guides Luke as well is just so great. Overall, Yoda is a great character in this movie. And the last character we get introduced to is Boba Fett, another cool character from the Star Wars saga, and we really would get left making feel like you can sense he's badass, being alongside Darth Vader especially. But knowing that, we're left wanting to see more about this guy, find out a little bit more, and that's what really is cool about this character. The world building takes a massive upstep in this movie as well. It continues to expand to a point where it follows the character arcs, because we're finding more about the characters, but also the world as well around them. We find more new locations. We want to see what's on them locations. It's just so enjoyable as well. And the way it leaves us feeling greedy, because we see new stuff, but we want more. Now, going on to some of my personal favourite scenes in this movie, definitely, of course, the most shocking reveal of all time. In my opinion, I am your father revealed to Luke Skywalker from Darth Vader. This is definitely a key segment. Even if you take that part out of that scene and you just focus on the battle itself, it's such a great battle. It really is. It wasn't fully intense like we get in the next movie, but really there is some really sort of taunting going on between them. The way they communicate with each other is really great and enjoyable. Then we get that reveal, and it just completely shocks a lot of people around the world, especially when it was released. And then obviously we also get other moments between Vader and Luke where Vader's communicating with Luke inside his head as Luke escapes. Some really, really special key moments in the movie between these two, because it's all leading up to that finale. Somewhat enjoyable, but also the escape for Luke Skywalker in this movie. The fact that Luke Skywalker dived down knowing that he was going to pretty much die and he didn't, of course, but he thought he was going to die. It was pretty much a sense of, okay, you're my father, it's over, pretty much. The way that reality, you think about it, is just so special. The way they used the character of Luke in that moment really was great. Also, the scene of Han being frozen was really impactful and really emotional. One of the emotional scenes. I really get emotional watching it. It's so iconic, it's unbelievable. Because if you think in that scene, the way Han finally gets told by Leia that she loves him, and he replies, I know, and you can see him going down and you know he's going to get frozen and something bad's going to happen. It is purely emotional and impactful. It is so great. So guys, it's rating time. Let's have a look what the critics had to rate this movie. We have IMDb giving it an 8.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes giving it a 95%. And Metacritic giving it an 82. My rating for this movie is a 9.5 out of 10. That makes this an amazing movie. Overall, guys, all I have to say is this is how you make a sequel. Improving it in every way possible from your first movie. It is just pure great. A must-watch classic for sure. So guys, a 9.5 out of 10 for Empire Strikes Back. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts and ratings in the comment section down below. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you agree? My thoughts and my rating? Let me know in that comment section down below, of course. Guys, I've already started the journey with A New Hope. I reviewed that a couple of days ago. Don't forget to go ahead and check that out. Link will be in the description and an annotation at the end of the video for you guys. Also guys, don't forget to check out all the other stuff on the channel. I've done a bunch of other reviews if you think about Terminator Dark Fate, Rambo Lost Blood, as well as the new Doctor Sleep. A bunch of horror stuff, a bunch of personal rankings where I've spoken about top directors, top actors, actresses, and bunch more. I'm going to leave annotations at the end of the video and links in the description for you guys to check out the channel. Hopefully you guys enjoy all the stuff coming up on the channel as well. Got coming up the Return of the Jedi, going to be reviewed on Wednesday for you guys, so please do stay tuned on the channel for that by subscribing and hitting that bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. And guys, if you enjoyed this review, please do smash that thumbs up button. It helps the video out, helps the channel out, and helps me out, which I'm completely grateful for, of course. Thank you very much guys for watching. I've been me, you've been you, and I'll see you next time guys on Talking with Jay Springer.